Hello, everybody. Hopefully, audio's coming through. Everything is fine and perfect and dandy. I'm probably going to have to change my camera background because that's going to irritate me because it's no working on my Elgato, and that was the reason why I got the camera. But yes, hello, welcome to Ready Play Go. Been paid to say this, the place where streamers, weirdos, and nerds get together and play TTRPGs. I want to say thank you for everybody in chat that have came along a watch episode 1, and for the players here that have put up with my bullshit over the last 6 months of getting this organised, written, and sorted. So with that, we shall introduce the lovely players. We will start with Avery. If you would like to shill yourself.
Sure. Hello, everyone. I am Avery Connors. I am a half-elf variety streamer VTuber. I am currently playing Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, the 8th or 9th main storyline Yakuza game, and that's it.
Ghosty?
You can catch me at twitch.tv/Avery Connors.
Ghosty?
Hi, I'm OutermostGhost. I am your local HabaDacter VTuber who plays a variety of video games over on my channel. I'm in a ghost body today, and I hope that you all really have fun, because I'm scared. Okay, I'm done.
Haba?
Hi, I'm HabaDacter. I'm a variety streamer. You can find me at twitch.tv/HabaDacter. Not so much on Twitter anymore. I am on Blue Sky as HabaDacter. I play lots of games, mostly RPGs, and here we are. Ta-da.
Dox?
Hey, I'm DoxRyan. Everybody knows me. I do a little of this, a little of that. I'm currently in a weird transitional thing with streaming, but it is what it is. You can find me at DoxRyan across everything. Because branding.
Perfect. And I am your game mother, Chrissy C90, across all platforms. Variety streamer, more horror than anything else. Have taken a hiatus, but will be coming back in the next couple of weeks, which is planned. So you can get me across all platforms on that. I use everything. I don't stay updated with everything, but we go through everything anyway, because like Doc said, branding is important. So yes, after a month, well, actually for me it's been 14 months that I've been writing and planning this game, and the players have only known it for the last 4 months. So a lot of work has been put into it by everyone involved, so we do hope that you enjoy it. We do have a warning, just as everybody usually does with TTRPGs, just to make sure that everybody's on thing. So quick disclaimer, our Alien game is intended for those 18 and over. With both action and horror vibes, the game is intended to play into character fears. This may invoke anxiety and other distressing moods. We understand that the game may not be for everyone, and your support in any capacity is always appreciated. We have ground rules set up that all players agree to, but if anything within the game causes distress, please do not watch. Your mental health and everything is more important than a number on any stat board. With that, please get yourself settled in, get yourself ready to go as we jump into episode 1 of Alien Entrapment. So we open the story in a less than sterile hospital room. A couple of dull lights illuminate two figures, one lying on a table and the other standing over them, giving them stitches. Docs, would you like to describe what everyone sees standing over a patient?
Standing over the patient, you see a gentleman in his early 40s, salt and pepper, short, messy hair, full goatee, salt and pepper, kind brown, caramel brown eyes, and yeah, that's a good description.
Okay. So, the man at the table glances at their wound, says, "How bad does it look, Doc?"
Well, it looks not that bad. We'll be able to fix you up, no problem.
These things just came out of nowhere. Just working in the mines.
You want to tell me what kind of things they were that came out of nowhere, son?
It was strange. It was like these small little rodent-like things. We hadn't actually came across them before, but we got to a certain depth, and when we punched through the wall, it was like an overflow of just these small rodents pouring out. Got quite a few of us, but we managed to get out, get to safety.
Well, as long as you talk to the marshal, I'm sure they can send a scout team down and take a look at those rodents. But from what I could tell, you just got a few cuts and scrapes. We'll be able to stitch you up and get you on your way.
Just as Joshua's finishing up, a man in a very expensive suit carrying a briefcase enters into the room. An older gentleman, thin and short hair, thin build with weathered skin. Joshua, you recognise the man as someone who you've dealt with through Weyland-Yutani. He's one of the agents there, known as Jack Powell. He kind of walks in a sort of... You can sense him entering the room. He has that sort of presence as he comes in. Hey, we need to talk. We have work for you. And he gestures that the conversation should be in private as he kind of glances at the man on the table.
All right. Well, let me just get these couple staples in, and I'll meet you in exam room 3.
Okay. The man leaves and goes into the room that you think. You finish up your work. You get a little handshake, couple of credits into the palm. You know how it is in this level. And you make your way into the exam room 3. As you enter, Jack Pill is got his briefcase open, kind of expectant of you coming in. And he, as you walk in, he pulls out a A4 envelope, that yellow, no, the serious style, and hands you the envelope. And he kind of says, "We've come across some information that we need you to check out. Pretty straightforward." And he does hand you, if I can, if you check your journal, you should have a little note.
Got it.
As you open the envelope and you look, you do notice that pretty much most of this letter has been redacted, with only certain word sentences kind of visible to you.
And I look at it briefly and be like, I got half a note here, Jack. What's going on?
The information is on a need-to-know basis, and that of what isn't there, you don't need to know. We've had some calls and, well, quite frankly, yells about something that's happened far from here, but close enough that it might pose a problem. Some information is getting out that people that shouldn't be involved are beginning to get involved, and we need you to help us out. We have a couple of people that we want to send along to try and get information for us, but we know that you know, well, let's just say the best pilot in this station, and he doesn't take too kindly to us, so we need you to do your thing, get this group there, make sure everyone's alive, and get back with what we need.
All right, a couple questions. What exactly do you need, and who the hell am I supposed to meet with outside of a pilot?
We'll send the others your way, but get the pilot, meet them at the usual place. Like the only place that you go that isn't here. And
You're being very spooky there, Jack. You know, I kind of like spit it out.
just meet them at Billy's. Somebody will be there to ready to meet you. Get the pilot, bring them there. They'll relatively know the information that's going on. But this is a very hush-hush situation. No one outside of this group needs to know what's going on. It's serious. People have died through this, and it's not going to be an easy find.
So let me just real quick. Let me summarize. You want me to go snag a pilot, meet up with a crew that I don't know, head off to some undisclosed location at this current moment to do some such errand that involves me and a group of people that report back to you?
Yeah, so you do know how to listen. You've only done that in a past life.
That's your one, Jack. That's your one. Final question. Do I need the bag or do I need the case?
This could require all of your skills.
All right, Jack. I'll go get the pilot.
As you say that, he closes his briefcase and kind of gets himself up, fixes his suit. Right. I have to go and speak to the others. Don't daddle in this. The board need this done as soon as possible. There's good payment if this all goes the way it has to go.
Well, I hope so, because you know what the payment for me is.
Yep. Don't worry. We haven't forgotten.
All right. Oh, hey, Jack, you might want to lay off the cold cuts and the coffee. You're not looking so well.
He doesn't even look at you as he kind of has that stuttered stop as he kind of just processes what you've said, and then without saying anything, he just leave you standing in the room. So as we move from that, we make our way over to the Novgorod spaceport, where not necessarily new, but in working order ship is currently docked. Next to the ship is someone currently just doing maintenance, a little bit of work. Avery, would you like to describe what everyone sees?
He is a very skinny man wearing a flight suit and flight jacket. He looks like he lives almost exclusively on ramen noodles and the cheapest food he can get. His hair is very scraggly and kind of looks like he probably cuts it himself with scissors, and that he hasn't shaved in multiple days. And he's just doing like as slap job of a basic maintenance as he can.
So yes, as you're doing what you can to try and salvage anything that is maybe not quite perfect on the ship, a port hand kind of comes over to you, and just he tries to make small talk, but he's not really that good at small talk because nobody really talks to people that actually work in the port. So he kind of just like that nervous sort of kind of trying to get your attention without trying to get your attention kind of thing. We'll kind of be like, so another job coming up soon.
Nothing lined up right now. I'm kind of fucking falling through.
Yeah.
I'm falling through, man. You know how it is.
Yeah. That's just every working day here. You just never know what next is happening. You know, everything seems quite falling through. You can tell that he's not one of the experienced spaceport handlers. Like it definitely feels as if he's been in this like a couple of weeks. He's still quite young faced, just trying to figure it out.
Did you need something, kid, or you just coming over here to shoot the shit?
Oh, just like it's just ship's kind of cool, and you know, I've always wanted to be out there. You know, you don't really get much adventure working in the port. You know, that's why I got the job here, just to be kind of close to them. You know, the ships are kind of cool.
How old are you, kid?
I'm old enough. You can probably gauge that he's not probably 17, 18. Like very much that, you know, within like stations and colonies and stuff like that, it's usually a certain job is usually passed through like generations. There's not usually like a whole lot of people looking for certain kind of jobs. They don't really have like interviews and stuff like that. It's more kind of like, if your dad works as this, you'll kind of take over their role kind of thing. So you can, he's definitely young, and it does seem as if like he's still in this training phase of, doesn't really know what he's doing, but he really likes ships.
Bit of advice, kid. adventure's well and good. Don't give it up for stability.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's what my dad
Spaceport's a good
said.
job, especially if you like ships, man. Spaceport's a good job if you like ships.
Yeah.
You go out in space, it's fucking scary, man. It's fucking scary. Hey, for someone who's been doing it for quite a few years now. I didn't describe this. Tavin's probably like he looks a little bit older than he actually is. He looks like he's probably mid-30s, early 30s, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, yeah. That's what my dad always says. Like, you always keep your feet on the ground. You don't have to fly in the stars.
There's nothing wrong with wanting to do it. If you find a good ship to do it, it doesn't hurt to try it, but don't give it up for something like this. Spaceport's a good fucking job. If I could go back in time and get a job like yours, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
I mean, if you would like to, and just as he's about to kind of finish, there's a yell from kind of the side where clearly older foreman, possibly dad, kind of, hey, what have I told you about bothering the pilots? Get your ass over and do your work. And with that kind of startled, deer in the headlights kind of thing. So, I have to go and bye, and he just turns 180 and just kind of head down and starts.
He'll turn back to doing like the basic repairs on the ship and just mumble to himself, "Fucking kids, hey Martha," and then continue.
As you kind of think, you get, as you've kind of turned back, you have noticed that the gentleman is walking up towards you that you recognize as Joshua, who's kind of Joshua. You kind of almost get body checked by this fast-paced moving young chap that's heading back to where the group of other space handlers are kind of working, and he gives that like nervous sorry as he kind of trumbles past you.
That's all right.
Yeah, but yeah, you approach the ship in Tavin, and you have found your pilot.
Hey, Tav.
What's up, Doc? Been a while.
Yeah, I brought you a Coke. Figured you hadn't drunk anything besides coffee this morning.
Watered down coffee. I'll take it.
Yeah. You got anything planned for the day?
Nah, I finished my last job last week and I haven't found anything yet, so nah, what you got?
Job?
Does it pay well?
No, it's a corp job.
Like you see a flash of like fuck over on Tavin's face, like god damn it. Which one?
Well, you really want to know?
It's gonna determine how I react, so yes.
It's the old Wayland Yutani.
That flash of fucking god, like even worse, like just pure like fuck those people on his face.
Why do you think I brought you the Coke?
How much?
Didn't say.
As in blank check didn't say, or $2 didn't say.
He said, get the team together, then we'll talk.
It's kind of blank check didn't say.
Oh, that's how I read it.
He like looks
Come on.
down at it. He looks down his hand is like counting in his mind how much money he has with his fingers to see if he has enough to say no. Yeah, I'll go talk with you at least.
Look, what's the worst that happens? You get a piece of pie from Billy's?
I get shot out into the vacuum of space and suffocate to death.
That could happen at any time you go up. That's not a thing.
Yes, but from personal history. Only time it's happened was when I was doing corporate work.
Again, why I brought you the Coke? It's even in a glass bottle.
He'll pop open the Coke and start drinking it. All right, let's go.
All right then.
I'll be back. He like pats the head of pats his hand on the ship. I'll be back, Martha. Stay safe.
Girl's looking nice. Give her a shower lately?
Not enough. You know how it
Sure.
is, man. It's a 10-man ship. I'm on myself.
Well, I mean, you at least count for 5 of them.
Had to.
Dirt gives her character. Scratches give her feeling.
And I guess as we walk away, Joshua could also notice that on the side of the ship, the full name is painted as Marthanure, which is how you would read it.
Mhm.
I guess he'd probably know that it's supposed to be Gaelic.
Mm.
Yeah, if they've known each other for a while, Tavin
Yeah.
would have told him that it stands for survivor, or it means survivor.
That don't bode well for us.
So with that, as you kind of walk out of the spaceport, we transport to a somewhat bustling community within Novgorod. There's vendors and there's a bar and there's restaurants and people trying to sell stuff, people trying to buy stuff, and kind of walking down, kind of surveying everything with a look and feel of authority. Haba, would you like to describe what everyone sees demanding respect through the corridors
All right.
of Novgorod?
So you see a woman with red hair that's up in a bun. It's slicked back, very military style. She does not look happy. She looks just pissed off all the time. She's got that awesome resting bitch face. She's in, whatever marshals would wear. Marshal uniform, I don't know, badge. And she walks around not arms crossed, but hand to the hip, ready, vaguely irritated for no reason at all, with a cigarette dangling out of her mouth, unlit.
So as you are kind of patrolling, not necessarily with much hands-on approach as like your officers, because being the marshal, you've got a team of officers that do the kind of dirty work, but given your history and experience, you're not one to kind of just become a pencil pusher, kind of take yourself out of the groundwork. You still like to keep yourself hands-on in anyway. As you're kind of walking through, just off to your right at one of the vendors, you see someone that you recognize that has been quite a thorn in your side for a good number of months. Don't always show up, but when they do show up, they've probably got something that's illegal that they're trying to get sold in Novgorod. They haven't quite noticed you yet as they're speaking to a vendor, kind of holder bag in hand, and from the from where you are, you can completely tell. You've seen it before, where it's that begging seller state where it's like the person isn't interested, but they're like a little bit more pushing to get their items sold.
Do I know the person's name?
You'd only know him as Lee, but you know that he is quite the notorious pain in the ass smuggler that frequents all, and within the kind of marshals, most stations within a general field all know this particular person because it's just always a pain in the ass. They're never like, they're not aggressive or try and like hurt or kill, but they are very, very notorious of trying to capture.
So I'd like to walk up quietly, if I can, kind of put one hand on the counter and clamp my hand down as hard as I can on their shoulder and say, Lee, what are we doing today, bud?
With the grip on his shoulder and hearing your voice, you can even feel the colour drain completely out of his face as he just stares blankly towards the vendor, who at that moment just slowly has that kind of fun grin where he's about to get some lunchtime entertainment and kind of like just settles him set back. And Lee kind of cough, kind of nervousness. Marshall, I didn't expect to see you in this part of the floor.
I would imagine not. What have you got? Got some contraband? Steal something? What are you doing, Lee?
Why is it whenever you see me, you immediately think of the worst? Like, I could have socks.
You're stealing people's socks?
Well, that's just rude. I might not have stolen them.
Okay, you might not have stolen them. So are they socks, Lee?
I mean, my socks are in there.
You know, you're just a real pain in my ass. So why don't we just stop the bullshit? You tell me what you're doing, and we decide if we stay here or if you walk with me back to my office.
Look, I can show you what I've got. There's nothing majorly bad. And with that, he'll put the bag up on the vendor's table. So yeah, look, there's nothing stolen or contraband in there. Everything's.
Let's see it.
It unzips the bag and sort of like pulls it open, but not enough to kind of completely show you. But the bag is now open on the table.
Gonna continue to hold Lee by the shoulder, pull the bag and look into it. What have we got?
When you look in, besides some very old used socks, and other personal belongings that happen to be within the bag. You do see some not illegal, but items where it be like beer and some snacks, stuff that, as much as it's not illegal, there is designated areas like if you wanted alcohol, you would have to go to like a licensed place. So as much as it's not like punishable by jail time, he really should not be selling kind of that stuff. But I will say, while you kind of move things about, there is something that catches your eye at the bottom. It's almost like it's like a small wooden box, and as you try to kind of shuffle it in the bag with your hand, it does have a bit of a weight to it.
I'll pull it out.
Okay. Trying to pull it out with one hand, not possible. This is a weighty...
What the fuck is this, Lee?
What's what?
All right. Do you want to do cuffs now and we walk over to the station, or do you just want to tell me what the fuck this is?
Well,
3, 2.
it's not what you think it is. It's just a simple thing that I had been asked to bring in by someone that didn't name themselves, and
Can I open the box?
Yeah, you could open the box.
I'm asking the game mother, can I open the box?
Sure. But we will have to have our first roll then, because we will have to see whether you're going to have to let go of him or no.
Okay.
So, hold on. Probably just be a strength check to see if you can keep a hold of him and open the box with one hand.
How do I roll in this?
You see on the set where it says strength.
Yeah.
Click
I
on
did
the
that.
strength.
I did that. Oh, maybe hold on. Cool. I cannot see.
Is it
We might
no?
have a problem.
Because you don't click the number, you click on the actual strength part.
Yeah, that's not doing anything for me. I'm so
Right.
sorry. Oh no, here we go.
Okay.
Dice to add, subtract.
None. This is just a kind of run of the mill. Okay. So as you try to open the box with one hand, it's absolutely impossible to get a grip of this box. So you do have to let go and use your other hand to kind of, the curiosity kind of overpowers you to kind of like, now you need to know what's in this box. As you kind of pull the box up and open it, you find it's nothing that you've seen before. It's 4 vials kind of along the top, and the vials seem to have like this thick, viscous, black liquid inside. It's and underneath that is like a metal. It's like a metal rod, but it looks as if, like, on either ends, it's almost as if it has the both ends could come apart. And it's more the metal rod that seems to be giving it a lot more weight to it.
Can I infer anything from this? Like, I don't even know. I don't know what I'm asking to do. Is there a sense that this is probably something that it's not a good idea to be, maybe walking around outside of a lab?
From your experience, something of this, even just color and the fact of the whole presentation of it, is alarm bells are going off that this isn't something that any run-of-the-mill person really should have a hold of. And the fact that they said that they had been asked to bring it or get it by someone else really gives you that kind of knot in the stomach of this could be a lot worse than just a simple smuggle of contraband.
What in the actual fuck, Lee?
As you say that, Lee is no longer in your vicinity, completely gone. But you have his bag.
Do I know any sciencey types that I would be like, maybe someone that isn't fucking me should come and handle this and make sure that it can be safely moved?
You don't have anyone quite on like in an on-call basis, but you do have the proper channels that you can go down where it can be sent away to people that would be able to do what's necessary.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start. Do I have a cell phone?
You have like a personal comm kind of headset arm thing, like a PDA kind of thing.
All right, then I'm gonna be like, all right, God damn it. Lee smuggled something. We need some. We gotta get the shit out of here. We have something to secure now.
There's a little bit of a silent delay before you do get a kind of what's your location, boss?
What's my location game up?
You're within the kind of main shopping district, so
I'm in the shopping wards with a vendor.
okay. On my way. With that, you do recognize the voice, and you get that feeling of frustration and dread because you know that this particular officer is the one that likes to be dramatically overboard and has always been. After a couple of minutes, you start hearing kind of chatter and mumblings and that as your favorite officer is coming in full EVA scientific, make sure that nothing bad is going to happen suit. Gloves, helmet, the whole works, coming through with these tongs and his bag, ready to take whatever item it is that you've got.
You know what? I'm not mad. Because I have no idea what the fuck this is. So, like, maybe I'm normally irritated with this person, but I'm like, yeah, thanks, bud.
So, transport it into the kind of safe lock bag kind of thing. Everything gets sealed up. The officer kind of gives you a nod of the hat and kind of takes the stuff back to where with the main kind of offices of the marshals and the officers and stuff like that. And as he says, he said he kind of turns to you and goes, "Oh, by the way, there was someone at the your office had been looking for you. I told them just to wait and you'd be along."
Okay. Who? Did you get their name?
No. And he just kind of turns and starts heading on his way.
Before I go, I'm going to turn to the vendor. Did Lee say what he was trying to sell you?
He was just trying to sell me some beer, but like I don't sell that.
Thanks. I'll head to my office.
Okay. As you make your way through and get yourself to the offices, you see man in a suit, briefcase, quite important, corporate looking. Kind of once he sees you kind of entering, kind of stands up, kind of, well, it's about time. Kind of looking at his watch.
It's about time?
Yes, I've been here for about 30 minutes waiting. Your officer said that you'd be on your way.
I'm a marshal. I don't report to you. I don't give a shit if you've been waiting in my office. I have a job to do. Who are you?
He kind of slightly taken aback by the abruptness. He kind of fixes his tie. He's like, "Well, I'm Mr. Powell from Weyland-Yutani, and we're aware that you have a job, but this is going to be on a much wider scale that I already have permission from your higher ups that you are the person for this job."
If my assignment is being changed, I will take that from the marshal's office. I do not work for Weyland-Yutani. I am an officer of the law.
Just as you finish that statement, someone steps out from your office. And that kind of, like, you weren't expecting someone like who would be in your office, but you do recognize it as your superior former marshal that you took the job from. And it's a female, kind of older, probably late 50s, has that sort of lethal weapon, I'm too old for this shit kind of look. Like, you've been in the Novgorod marshal job for a year or two, and she was in it for 20 years. So you can kind of, you know why it's that kind of look. And she kind of steps out the kind of your office and that. Carrigan, about that. And she kind of hands you a sheet of paper. Effectively, that your current assignment has been altered. um,
Does she have a name?
oh, her name is Lydia Montel.
Marshall Montel, ma'am. And I'll shake her hand while I take the assignment.
And shakes it back. I'm aware that this seems quite out of the blue, but Mr. Powell here and Weyland-Yutani have informed us of quite a interesting thing that may or may not have happened. They have been, and while she says this, she kind of shoots a kind of daggered look towards Mr. Powell. They have been quite tight-lipped, if I must say, over the whole matter. But yes, apparently something has come up, and they asked who within our ranks we felt that would be able to actually do a lot more to it. And considering your history, you might be the exact person that they're looking for.
Okay. Doesn't really seem like a lot of information.
Yes, as far as we've been told, well, Mr. Powell probably should have told you by now, that there will be a meeting happening down at Billy's bar, where they're apparently going to give all of the details that they're willing to give. I am awfully sorry that this has came at such short notice, but it it does seem rather important, and if what they've told us, or such little that they've told us, is actually quite true, it's definitely something that we have to keep our hands on and make sure that nothing comes back to this area.
Yes, ma'am.
With that, Mr. Powell hands you another kind of sheet, and annoyingly, he does have a rather smug grin on his face of that kind of small victories. The note that he hands you is of. Do you know what? I can actually just hand you the same note, because it is all quite the same. So it should be in under your cat in the handouts. You should be able to access. It says letter for Joshua, but
Yeah.
you should be able to find it, and same with yourself as you read it. There's really not that much information. A lot of it has just been redacted out, and thing it, and he'll kind of like smell his hands you to it. So yeah, everyone is heading to Billy's bar. The rest of the crew that we're sending on this research investigation, if you will, there will give you a little bit more information. You can meet the rest of the crew. I'm sure they'll all be happy to see you.
Am I acting in an official capacity as a marshal?
Within rank and necessity, but I don't think you'll have to use too much of your stature to get this done. but yes, you won't be working for us. You'll just be working alongside us.
Mm.
And
Then you
don't
should
worry, we
practice
will
law.
compensate you quite handsomely.
Yeah, no, that's not my concern. I'm an officer of the law. Expect nothing less.
Very well. We wouldn't expect any less, and we wouldn't expect you to go back on your morals and ethics within the role.
When is this meeting happening?
Kind of looks at his watch. Probably in the next 5 minutes.
All right, I'm just gonna turn around and walk towards Billy's. I'm done.
As you head out, Mr. Powell and Lydia kind of just exchange pleasantries, and as you head out, we will move right across to Billy's bar. As we enter, with it being probably around noon right now, it's not that busy. There's probably 2-3 regulars, and sitting up near the kind of one of the booths near the back, sitting at the table, looking at a sheet of paper. Ghosty, would you like to describe what everyone sees sitting at the table?
A giant no, not go with the joke there, man. Okay. Yeah, you see a woman who about average height, unhealthily thin. Looks like a stiff breeze could knock her over. Her hair is black, and she is wearing sunglasses and a very nice suit.
Nice. As you are sitting at the table, you are currently looking over a sheet of paper which I've added to your
Yay,
notes.
redactors, my favorite.
You've obviously you have been sent here from your kind of superiors that have given you a little bit more details and a little bit more of a heads up of like the meeting that you'll be within a crew, and that there's an research investigation that Will and Jatani and people that they're involved in with kind of want done. Unfortunately, they still are giving out the same sheet of paper to everybody because it is very
It's cost effective.
exactly.
Why would you reprint? Okay, do I know who I'm meeting though?
You were told that you will be meeting with Colonial Marshal Mackenzie, and that you were meeting with another two that were just known as Doc and a pilot. That was the only information that you were given.
Then, in addition to like the paper and any like briefcase or whatever, I do have a package. It is wrapped very nicely, and it has a card on top that says "For Carrigan" with a heart underneath her name. It is filled with all of her favorite snacks.
Okay. Well, as you're sitting at the table, have you ordered anything from Billy's? Drinks, food, anything like that?
I have a glass of water.
Okay.
But do I know anything about the people other than Carrigan about their food preferences or drinks?
Probably not. It's really only still a by name and by occupation that you've been given this information. Again, they were trying to keep it quite a hush hush. Like you, more than anybody has kind of, you've worked with Wayland Yutani before. You've done a similar, not similar work, but you've been in this kind of similar capacity where information was sparse. You had a job to do. You know the kind of money that can come out of Wayland Yutani, so you very much know. Don't ask too many questions until you're on the job.
Okay. Then I will have ordered a Coke for Carrigan, and probably a plate of appetizer type snack foods for like the table.
Very well.
And a specific plate of nachos for Carrigan.
Okay. Well,
So excited!
Billy will be in the back, kind of preparing all that kind of stuff. As you're sitting at the table, kind of waiting, you do hear two people entering, kind of in a kind of passing conversation as they're kind of coming in, where you do see two gentlemen walking in, and Joshua and Tavin, you come into the Billy's bar, ready for your meeting.
So, like I was telling you, Tav, I told the guy, I said, I don't care how it got up there, but next time just make sure it's got a flare base on it, okay?
Tavin just looks a little uncomfortable, but like he's trying not to be because it's his friend who he's known for a long time.
Look, I see some wild shit down in the sick bay, but I mean, I don't lie to me. I tell people all the time, don't lie to me. just tell them, just tell it to me straight, and I won't judge that bad.
I'm so glad I didn't go into fucking medicine, man. So glad I didn't do it.
I mean, then yeah. Drinks?
If you're paying.
Well, yeah, of course. What? Why wouldn't I treat my freeloading pilot friend?
Freeloading. How many times have I had to fucking... You want to talk about freeloading?
All right. Okay, moocher's the better term. Sorry, my bad.
I'll take that. I'll take moocher.
Well, I guess we just sit at the bar, I guess, until we're supposed to meet with somebody.
Do I know that they're the two that I'm waiting for, Chris?
At this moment, no. It's just for you. It's just one loud person and one little bit more of a decorum about them. Kind of just coming in to the bar. To you, it feels like you have that sense of, could this be the people? But you don't know enough to kind of for a 100% guarantee that these are the people that you're coming. As
where the hell is Billy?
As you approach the bar, Billy kind of comes out of the back. Is that so? Hey guys, I'm really really sorry. It's literally noon and we're absolutely just. Someone's ordered a lot of food.
Start looking around.
Yeah, Tavin's gotta start like looking around. So like 1, 2, 3, And that's it.
Yeah. So that, yeah. What do you just want the usual or?
Yeah, sure, Billy.
Yeah.
He gets your drinks together, and as you're kind of just waiting at the bar, kind of not long but after you, all of you immediately recognize that Colonial Marshal Mackenzie is walked into the bar. Billy immediately kind of like hair on the back of the neck kind of stand, because the last thing that any business wants is the Colonial Marshal walking in unannounced in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Tavin
stand up and walk over to her.
Tavin immediately kind of like flinches a little bit, but tries to act cool, like he doesn't care. But it's very clear that he is like side-eyeing her.
And Carrigan, as you enter into Billy's bar, you are met with the gaze of 5 people in the bar, and one now currently approaching you with enthusiasm.
Carrigan, hello! It's been so long! Come take a seat with me.
Hello?
We're supposed to be meeting today.
Okay, so you're with Waylon Yutani.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've already ordered a Coke and some nachos, so just sit down. We'll have a conversation.
Thanks. I love nachos.
I'm just gonna I'm just be looking over at Billy, just kind of drinking my beer, being like, I don't hear shit.
I'll walk over to the table with her and sit down. Do I know you?
You definitely know me. Carrigan, I've been sending you care packages every month. Here, I got this one for you right here.
I'll take
I
the
hand
care
her the
package.
care package.
What's your name?
Andrea.
Andrea. Do I know someone who's been sending me care packages?
I
have been sending care packages every month.
You do
Have I been
start
getting
to
care
don.
packages from an Andrea?
Yes, you do start to remember that you have been receiving for quite a while since you took the top role. You have been randomly receiving care packages.
Gift baskets.
Strangely, a lot of the time it was stuff that it's always been your favorites, but you've never you don't know an Andrea.
So I've just been getting random care packages from an Andrea Waylon Yutani, full of my favorite things. I have assumed that this is some kind of weird bribe and have been throwing them away. I don't think that I'm so rude that I would throw it away right in front of her face now that I have to work with her, and I'm just going to be like, "Thank you. Is there a reason that you've been sending me these care packages? Cuz
We're
I don't
friends. Don't you
I don't
recognize me?
Andrea Maxwell, Waitani agent that has been sending me packages.
Yeah.
I know that. I d- I don't think
We used to work together.
I never worked for Waylon Yutani.
No. Before I worked. Sorry, before.
As you're trying to rattle your brain, Carrigan, you are interrupted by Mr. Jack Powell coming in to the bar and kind of in a very weird, creepy vibe of someone that you can tell has never really been that kind of person, kind of just happily, kind of, everyone, really, really glad that you could all come and be in our little meeting. He kind of looks to the bar to you, Joshua and Tavin, and kind of signals for you to come over to the table that, or the booth that Carrigan and Andrea are currently sitting at.
Reluctantly grab my beer, head over.
Tavin will grab Joshua's arm and whisper into his ear, "You didn't tell me there'd be a fucking marshal."
Didn't know there'd be a marshal.
We're all friends here. Don't worry.
Tavin will reluctantly follow.
Walk over there with beer in one hand, try to look nonchalant as possible.
Tavin looks significantly uncomfortable to be there. Man does not have a poker face.
Just walk over and nod my beer at Carrigan. Marshal.
Doctor?
Medic, technically, but thanks.
As you kind of also, Carrigan, you with your just always observant kind of thing, you can't help but notice that Tavin is rather nervous, and you, with just experience, know that it's probably just your presence that is.
I'm going to lock onto Tavin, stick my hand out, go, Marshal Mackenzie.
Tavin will force a smile and go to shake his hand, but his hand's also just shaking a little bit as he goes to shake her hand.
As long as you're not breaking any laws,
Tavin,
you're not in trouble.
Tavin, I'm a pilot.
I'm not here to arrest you. It's fine.
Jack will kind of like surveying the awkwardness within everybody. Will kind of, yes, no one here is in any trouble, or at least not yet. Depends on where you put yourself. So, this is quite unorthodox. I'm well aware. The entire Weyland-Yutani board is well aware of how unorthodox and crazy this is going to sound. And just as he's about to kind of start giving the information, Billy will just kind of elbow him to the side as he starts putting down plate after plate after plate of just different foods. And
I just ordered an appetizer platter. What more?
see, appetizer platter is a very different thing in a space station, because usually people on a space station that are needing appetizers, it's a big belly.
Oh, but okay. Then that is misunderstanding.
It's
on my
perfect.
It's not too much food. It is very much a kind of little bit of everything. So it's like, it's not like full portions. It'll be like 5 wings and 4 this meal and thing like that. So it is kind of like a platter of sorts, but this is
Okay.
Billy's bar. Words don't have similar connotations to him. They want to seem like a trendy place, but this is not a trendy place. So they've heard the term
Aww.
appetizer platter,
Aw.
and this is their interpretation of food.
Billy's trying to make a good impression,
Yes.
apparently.
Aw, so cute.
So he'll kind of do that, put the plates down, wipe his hands on his trousers because old habits. He'll kind of nod to the group and he'll kind of head back off, and Jack will kind of step back into focus, kind of stern daggers at him. Anyway, as I was
Hey,
saying,
look, Tav. It's more than ramen noodles.
Yeah, Tavin's already eating. He just, as soon as the food got set down, he started eating. Like he's trying not to be rude and eat everything, but he's looking like he probably could.
I mean,
All right, Jack. What's the spiel?
okay, so word has gotten back to us of quite a explosive story, if I'd say so. I've just got to cut right to the chase. A certain space station out in the Zeta system was inadvertently destroyed. Yep, an entire space station is no longer in orbit. We have had trickles of information that something caused panic and terror within the station, and even though they were able to get a Mayday alert out, it appears that it was too late. We have sent others out too, but are yet to hear anything back from them. But this is information that, if given to the wrong people, can spell a lot of disaster to human populations throughout without putting too much of a dramatic on it, the entire human population of the universe. Someone or something is out there, and pretty much we want you to go and destroy it.
You want to take this one, Marshall?
I'm not a mercenary. I've already told you I'm an officer of the law. If you want an investigation, obviously I can do that. But do you even know what it is that you're sending us to investigate or destroy?
At this moment, no, but
No.
we want you to find that out. We will do most of the destruction at the end. More importantly, what we need you to do is just go out there, find out what you can, and if you happen to be able to track down this person, then the better.
It is a person.
We believe it is a person, like a very trained individual that can cause a lot of carnage and destruction at their fingertips.
Wiped out an entire space station.
Yes, and since we currently live on one, you can see our seriousness of the matter. We don't know where this person has come from, how they travel, but if this is something that can happen again, we don't want it to.
What was the space station?
That is not something that you need to know. But
Are you sending us to the space station?
no, there's no space station there anymore, so that would be a mute point. No, what we want you to do is figure out who knows about this. We have a couple of leads that we're getting together that we'll be able to send your way as soon as we make sure that they are viable. But looking at your faces, this doesn't seem like it's something. So, Wayland
You've
Yutani.
given us a whole bunch of nothing, Mr. Powell.
Well, more information as we receive it will be sent your way. But the be all end all is that we need this dealt with, and some of you have loyalties and work with us, and others are the best in their field and have skill sets that will help us in this. I am aware that we are asking you to do a lot with little information, and with that, Will and Yutani are willing to compensate you very, very handsomely. So if you are willing to take on this contract, as it will, as said before, you don't have to work for us. We are willing to just acquire your services.
Oh, I don't work for you. I'm a marshal, but my assignment has been changed with whatever corporate shit you did.
Well,
How
go ahead.
how much is handsomely?
He kind of sets his briefcase down, thingies through a couple of files, pulls out one sheet and starts kind of going through it. Will and Yutani, for this information with how serious and important it is willing to offer you all 1 million credits each.
Tavin's eyes go wide at that number.
Is that universal cred or we talking corporate specific, pal?
This is your run-of-the-mill credits, but I'm sure things can be pulled in order to compensate you in other ways if the job is successful.
All right. Who's the other suit?
Hello, I am Andrea Maxwell. It is a wonderful day to meet with all of you. I will be the company representative on the voyage with you.
Right.
As I said, you all bring an impeccable set of skills. We don't expect much to go on, more just turning up, asking some questions, finding some people, just that kind of typical stuff. We don't expect any any dangerous situations.
So Jack, if we're just interviewing people, why don't you just send corporate adjusters to do it?
Well, you see, information like this, if people were to learn of Will and Yutani's hand being a part of this, we may come up against some resistance. As I said, there's a lot of people that and kind of looks at you and looks at Carrigan that aren't necessarily fans of Will and Yutani. And there's a lot more people out there with a lot a lot bigger gripes towards us. So anything to keep our name out.
Tavin snorts audibly at that.
He kind of gives you a kind of glancing, like, I get it. So yes, the less of our name involved, the better. But you do have our backing. You have our compensation offer. Anything that we can give you to help in your endeavors, we will be sure to send it your way. But yes, seek information, get us what we need. If you can track down a location of this dangerous individual, we will do the necessary steps to take over that aspect.
But you don't anticipate trouble.
Well, not on your end. Unless some people have already found out that this person could be used on their side of things. As I said, resistance can come up. But for the most part, no, we don't expect anybody to really know much of this. As far as we know, this is an isolated incident. Most of the people that knew or were involved in it have unfortunately not survived, which again puts more pressure on the importance of getting this out of the universe.
So, Marshall, thoughts?
Sounds like a bunch of bullshit.
Corporate
not-
bullshit, indeed.
Yeah, you're not saying anything. I'm not taking any credits from Wayland Yutani, but it seems that I don't know, you blew smoke up someone's ass to change my assignment, so
It's not about blowing smoke up anyone's ass. It's about the safety and protection of all humanity.
Paul kind of gives a over-exaggerated nod in agreement.
She's just glaring at Andrea because it's exactly the type of thing to say to Carrigan to make her be like, well, of course I have to do that.
So where are we going? Because you wouldn't need a pilot if we weren't going somewhere.
Good point.
Yes. As I said, this is not happening within this system. This may take you to some further reaches of our grasp. As I said, we don't quite know how far out we're going to know, but Tavin, from what I have heard, and might I say your file is mighty long, you're one of the best pilots for getting out in and out of many different scenarios, and that is something that we feel may be of use here. Quick in, quick out. That's it.
Oh, so is that what she meant when you were quick in, quick out, Tavin?
Tavin is gonna flip off Joshua without even looking at him. And then continue talking to Jack like he didn't hear what was just said. Y'all gonna cover fuel?
We will give you a little bit of a starter bonus to get in supplies and anything else that you will need along the way, within reason, of course.
Jack, my credentials going to be good to bring the stuff I need to bring on this little shopping trip?
It kind of gives you a look of conflict.
Oh, no. You said bring the groceries.
Just keep it within reason so that we don't have to do, as Colonial Marshall put it, blow smoke up anyone's ass.
All right.
Having known Joshua for multiple years, would I know what he's talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, you can message me that.
Yeah, I'll message you.
Okay.
And he'll...
Well, I'm in.
Hmm?
Tavin says, well, I'm in. I'll do the job.
And the rest of you need any more persuading to help track down those that have murdered in cold blood innocent people?
I've already been assigned.
Very well. Yeah, I will send out more information to you by the end of the day. We do have a good bit of a lead of where we can send you first. Hopefully it won't be too much of a hassle to you. And he kind of closes back up his briefcase, buttons his suit again, kind of fixes himself and gets up and goes, I appreciate you all giving us your time and your talents to be able to get this done. And he kind of nods at kind of the table, and just as he kind of turns, he sort of leans down to within earshot of you, Carrigan, and kind of just not necessarily a whisper, but kind of in a hushed tone kind of thing. He's like, you might want to realize that there's a lot corporate bullshit can do within a lot of your ranks. And then
Fuck off, man.
walks off, leaves the bar.
Before he walks out, I'd be like, hey, Jack,
Turn
don't
back.
forget to tip your bartender.
He turns to Billy and kind of looks at everything and goes, you should really clean this place. And leaves.
I work with an asshole.
It's corporate.
You don't have to be an asshole to be corporate.
You need
It
at least one.
Only takes one.
You need one to
It only
drive.
takes one.
With that, with a rather defeated looking Billy at the bar, you are left at your booth with almost empty plates. Thanks to Tavin. With the
He looks
thoughts.
a little less malnourished.
But yes, you're left with the kind of thoughts of what's just happened.
Oh, fuck, Doc. I wasn't expecting that.
I told you, corporate job, Tav.
Yeah. It just had to be fucking Wayland, didn't it?
I mean, they put out the most work, and it's a cool million. Cred, but it's $1 million.
Only reason I didn't just Fucking say no, it's because of you and that mill.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. We all know it's the money more than me, though.
Well, I'm guessing you got the location we need to go to, Andrea.
I will receive. I will receive further instruction as necessary.
Yeah. Yeah, you would have been told that end of business day, you'll receive your kind of your marching orders and stuff like that. With that, if you've got nothing else to kind of say in this moment, you will all kind of start to make your way back to your own kind of spaces, get your kind of what you're wanting to take on the trip, or what you feel you might need, given the lack of information that you have been given. Just for brevity, I will say that a couple of hours after that has happened, Andrea, you will receive a kind of note that the location that and the group of people in location that they think has information is the where is it? It is a colony base known as the Independent Anisadora Colony. You know of them being on the outer reaches of the frontier. It's not a quick flight. It'll probably take a few days to get out to that location. But the information that you are given for your task is that they are aware that this group has this is where the information has came from. They claim that a survivor of the space station has made their way to this colony, and this is where the information is trickling from. So you are tasked of getting out to them and kind of finding out, speaking with the kind of the leaders and stuff, see if you can meet with the survivor and get information from first-hand accounts.
And by a few days, do you mean the standard 3 to 5, or do you mean like 10?
It's probably the kind of standard 3 to 5, depending on the usual kind of space travel effects, be it how clear, how good Tavin is. But
Okay. So I will communicate with everyone as best I can that we will leave in the morning and to plan to have 2 weeks supply with you.
so yeah, the rest of you are kind of given that kind of heads up. Tavin, you've been getting your Martha sorted up to the kind of spec. I will say that each of you have been credited 5,000 credits to kind of get your stuff that you need for this leg of the journey. So any items that you feel you require will be available for purchase. to get yourself out. Andrea will have kind of or gave you the kind of same thing where it's just a recon. You're just going out speaking to someone, first hand account. Carrigan, you will kind of, even with the kind of lack of information, you will get that kind of feeling of, it seems quite of a law-abiding, like it's a typical investigation. You've done it plenty of times. Although nothing seems out of the ordinary, it's Weyland-Yutani. So out of the ordinary as much as it can be, but you do get that kind of feeling stuff. It's just a run-of-the-mill investigation, get information and thing, yeah. So yeah, with that, I believe we're kind of approaching the 2-hour mark. I feel that is, for our first episode, a good place to end off, and we can start next week's episode gearing up for our first leg of the journey and the story of where it will take you. But yeah,
Such a long sleepover time. It'll be great.
yes. So I would like to thank firstly Avery, Ghosty, Haba, Docs. Thank you very much for being a part of this story. A bit of a sort of lot of talking one in this episode. You try and set the scenes and stuff like that, but
RP, baby, RP.
as we go forward, there'll be a lot more intensity, dread, horror, terror, everything that you would want in an alien game.
No.
But what if it's not the kind of horror that you would like?
Then it's going
Talk
to
to
be
Tavin
an
about that.
interesting one. But yeah, thank you for you guys for putting in all the work to get it where it is now, and thank you to everybody that came by, watch, support, shared the tweets, shared the stream, everything. It was a very enjoyable first episode. I'm quite happy with how everything went. It's difficult to play a dick and not give away all the information when so much of the information I really want to give. But yeah, with that, I would like to say thank you for joining, and we will be back next week, same time, 8 p.m. GMT, 3 p.m. EST, and I think it's 12 p.m. PST.
Yep.
Also 2 p.m. Central.
2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain Time. Right across the board.
Because time zones suck.
Yeah. This episode was a bit of a short one, but I felt like getting this bit of information together before starting off, kind of setting everything up, was the best way forward. So next week we might be a bit longer. But yes, thank you everybody for
drop.
Yes. Thank you everybody.
Hey, Chris?
Yes.
Thank you for being awesome and setting this all up.
You're very welcome. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You didn't seem nervous at all.
Not at all. Yeah, it was my
Not
20-minute walk in the rain.
Did a really good job.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So yes, we look forward to seeing everybody next week. The VOD for this will be live on YouTube. I'm planning on releasing the YouTube ones on a Wednesday, and that gives me enough time to download it, get everything set up and all that kind of stuff, and get it re-uploaded and stuff like that. So I have realised that I forgot to put my end screen onto this, so I'm just going to use my end screen with the Scottish vibes, and I'll do that in
Haba's
post.
hair is amazing.
It is.
Haba's
I love
hair
Haba's
is
hair.
amazing.
Yes. So yeah, thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful rest or start of your week. And we'll
Yeah.
see you next Sunday for another episode of Alien Entrapment. So goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.